Hi everyone, this is Mahesh Pande. This video is recorded for those who would like to learn about how audit execution program is actually defined. This audit execution program consists of activities like the auditee approaching certification body. What activities happens during the initiation stage? Then you have phase 1 of audit, preparing phase 2, the conducting the audit, that is what we called as phase 2 audit execution. Then you have the audit conclusions and finally surveillance audit. So these are 6 steps what you have. Now coming back and getting into the overall audit execution program. This is a sample organization where auditee would like to get ISO 27001 certified. They will implement the ISMS and define the scope and statement of applicability. Based on that, they will approach certification body. How the certification body is approached? What we called as the initiation. Okay. When the certification body is signed, that means a contract is signed between the auditee and certification body, you will have the lead auditor is assigned. Now, this lead auditor job is to understand the organization and define the risk and accordingly plan for overall audit. Before we go and plan for audit, let us understand how this works with a different image. You will have the lead auditor approach the guide. Guide is a representative from an auditee. Now, this organization may have 1 location, 2 or 3, or maybe some specific. So understand the scope, confirm the scope, and finally that once the certification body is having that capability and the auditee is confirmed that there is a match and we can go ahead and we have finalized maybe TUV SUD or we can say PECB or maybe some other certification that you have selected. How these activities happens, we are here for that. Audit program has 6 key steps, but actual audit is conducted in 2 phases, phase 1 and phase 2. When we say initiating the audit, this certification body will be approached by auditee. They will be filling a form. That means an inquiry form. Okay. Now, the certification body will receive a form. Now, certification form filling will be done by auditee. Application review will be performed by certification body. Appointing the team leader is a job of certification body. And then you will establish a contact to know what is the organization and their requirement and the risk. Define the audit objectives, validate the scope, define audit criteria. That does mean that this is based on ISO 27001. You can use this approach for any type of audit, maybe ISO 9001 or maybe for 22301 for business continuity and some other certifications. Also, this audit program approach can be utilized. That's one. Coming back, you will define or determine the feasibility, whether the auditee is in sync with the maybe a duration that they are looking for, maybe 1 month, 3 months, 6 months. Within that period, they are looking for the overall audit, including phase 1 and phase 2 audit. So certification agreement is completed and audit team is selected by the lead auditor. As you are done with the initiating the audit, that does mean that we have a contract signed between auditee and certification body. I repeat, a contract is signed between the certification body and auditee. We will go ahead for phase 1 of audit. Phase 1 of the audit says that you will have to plan the audit. You will have to prepare a checklist. Checklist is nothing but the list of activities that is supposed to be performed during the audit. An auditor should not miss on that. Okay. Next, you may have a site visit or maybe this is an online audit. So you will contact with the key stakeholders, and the ultimate purpose of phase 1 audit is to have your international standard requirements are being fulfilled or not, along with that additional documents prepared by organization for the effectiveness of ISMS, Information Security Management System, is to be reviewed by the certification body. As the phase 1 audit is completes, you will be submitting that report and you will give your recommendation to your certification. But ultimately, you as a lead auditor, you are not the accountable for giving that clarity or giving that go ahead to certification, sorry, the auditing, that you are cleared with phase 1. You will submit your report to certification body, and maybe a master lead auditor from certification body will review all that work papers of phase 1 audit and then decide whether this organization is ready to go for the phase 2. So in phase 2 audit, as this organization is gone through for phase 2, for phase 1, in phase 2 audit, you will have the applicability tested. Whatever the policies, processes, and tools, technologies that they have implemented, you are supposed to review. For example, we'll say backup process. Okay, backup process. Now, this backup process, auditor job is to see the applicability. For that, they will collect some samples, maybe samples of successful backups taken as well as failed backups. Especially looking at the failed backups, you will have the process says that there are, after the failed backup, you will have an incident record. Not able to resolve that, you will have a problem. To make that problem, to resolve that problem, you will have a change. All that records can be verified by the auditor. So that's what we said, applicability. You can also verify whether the backup is conducted on a regular basis, the offsite backup is taken, you have all activities related to that. Now, while auditor is performing all this, on the fly, I have set some points, but as an auditor, you will not have any time. Okay, you will have basically you will have a fixed time, maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 minutes for that to verify and come to a conclusion. Your questions should be ready. So that is what we said, that you have to have a test cases ready and you will collect the information from the auditing. Once you are done with that, you will come to phase 2, conducting the audit. That is starting with opening meeting. This is also called as stakeholder opening meeting, where you have a fixed agenda. You have to have agenda ready. Now that's exactly a part of your audit checklist. Now, who all auditees, the auditor members, as well as the conclusion about what will be the conclusion of the audit, how audit is going to end, how communication will be performed during the audit, how reporting will happen. All these audit activities are there discussed during the opening meeting, including the exit criteria, as I said. Okay, remember that. Now coming back to the point. So you will collect information, conduct the audit test, and prepare non-conformity draft. Non-conformity drafting report having some factors. One, non-conformity ID, department scope, as well as the auditor, auditee, and what is the non-conformity against clause and control that you have defined. Okay, which you will prepare the report finally from the rest of the auditors based on the scope of maybe HR related to the admin, IT, internal audit, top management, maybe finance. So it all depends on the organization's scope. You will submit the report or your details with the master lead auditor. I said that. I have used the word master lead auditor. You may say that it is going to be sent with the certification body. Now, certification body to review the quality of the entire audit work paper. What is audit work paper? You have prepared you have selected the lead auditor, you have defined the scope, you have selected the criteria, you have the plan, checklist of phase 1, phase 2 planning checklist, the details of the auditor, maybe the technical experts, how they have conducted the audit, they have evidences, all that will be reviewed by the certification body. I have said master lead auditor from certification body. Along with this, you will have some observations from auditee and auditor will also be recorded and that will be submitted to the certification body. Certification body's job is to come to a conclusion whether organization is certified or denied, as well as you will say that conditionally certified with some non-conformities to be closed. There, this is called as follow-up audit. The organization have, of course, some non-conformities, but you need to re-verify these non-conformities. Okay. where you may need a site visit. Okay, you may need a site visit is required. In this case, once the organization fulfills the requirement, they are certified. But in case of where certification is denied, okay, you cannot do anything. They may have to take certain time frame, 3 months, 6 months, or a year. They will fulfill the requirement and they can come back to certification. But that is all depends on the agreement between the certification body and the auditee. Now, once the organization is certified, as I said, this ISO 27001 certification is conditionally valid. The meaning to that conditionally valid is first year you will have a full audit, okay, which I have explained to you. Second year you will have a surveillance audit. This surveillance audit you will have the activities like auditor will approach the auditee. Auditor will approach auditee and jointly decide the scope of your surveillance audit. In this case, this is primarily based on the risk that the organization is facing, or rather high risk areas, okay, that where you will conduct. For example, within IT, access control, that is one area, or maybe related to disaster recovery, or you may have some area related to intellectual property rights, data privacy, some of the areas where there are high risk that you can decide, and that is mutually agreed, and that's how you will plan your surveillance audit. This surveillance audit, as like, it may be a part of 3 days exercise where full audit may be 30 days or maybe 7 days, depends on the size and scale of the organization. And there is no rule as such where full audit will be completed in 30 days or surveillance audit will take 7 days. Absolutely no. That is purely based on organization size and scale, their risk, number of locations that you are going to consider during the audit. So my friends, I hope you have enjoyed the overall learning on the audit program, how it is initiated, what is phase 1 of the audit, preparing phase 2, actual audit that you are going to carry out, then how it is audit conclusions are there are 4 conclusions, and beyond initial audit. We will be looking forward to see you in the course that you have, or if you have any corporate requirements, we will be happy to deliver that. Thank you.